me through me. I choose to have more abundance, abundance in my body, abundance in my home, abundance in every corner of my life. I choose to have more freedom, freedom to move, freedom to dream, freedom to create the life I desire.
Welcome. I'm really digging this vibe tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's going to be a beautiful podcast. We have two beautiful guests here tonight that are going to talk about the Alchemist Flame. This is a beautiful energy. Once you in home into the feeling and the tone and the feeling of all that is about this, is going to take you miles and miles into the multiverse. And we are so happy to be here. As you already know, my name is Pamela. And I have my girl here, queentierrastreasure, Terri. And we also have Hillis Pugh. All right, now our last guest is coming from the other side of Alchemist Flame, and we have Ofer. We're going to enjoy this beautiful music that is my theme song. I choose to have more. And more keeps coming.
More's always waiting for me. I choose to have more joy in my morning, more peace in my nights, more ease in the hours between. I choose to have more love that surrounds me, love that lifts me, love that flows endlessly through me. I choose to have more abundance, abundance in my body, abundance in my home, abundance in every corner of my life. I choose to have more freedom, freedom to move, freedom to dream, freedom to create the life I desire. I choose to have more beauty, beauty in what I see, beauty in what I feel, beauty in every simple moment. I choose to have more laughter, laughter that fills the air, that heals my heart, laughter that echoes into tomorrow.
All right, we enjoyed our theme song, and now we're going to have my girl, Queen Tierra, sing her rendition.
Okay. This is a song by Anita Baker, one of my favorites. It's called Caught Up in the Rapture.
Oh.
When we met, always knew I would feel the magic for you on my mind constantly. In my arms is where you should be. I love you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all time. Oh, caught up in the rapture of love.
Beautiful.
Nothing else can compare when I feel the magic for you. We have always stand side by side till the storms of life pass us by. Light my life, warm my heart. Say tonight will be just the start. I love you here but me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all time. Oh, caught up in the rapture of love. Nothing else can compare. When I feel the magic of you, the feeling's always new. Caught up in the rapture of you. Oh, I love you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all time. Oh, caught up in the rapture of love. Nothing else can compare. When I feel the magic of you. Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much
Beautiful.
love.
It's
Sending you
amazing.
love, love, love. All right. Woo! Okay, so you guys know the routine. You know who goes now. Hillis, come on and make us feel this vibration that is so heavy here tonight. I honor you. Your turn to speak.
So, thank you so much for having me this evening, for connecting with everyone in this space. And, the subject of tonight is the Alchemist Flame. But we cannot speak of the Alchemist Flame without speaking of creative consciousness, without speaking of the primary forces, without speaking of the flame itself, this sentient being, this conscious being of light, whose primary function is to assist in transmutation of energy, transmutation of life, transmutation of thoughts, transmutation of beliefs, transmutation of all things. Because the fire, we often talk about the fire in a great deal of the space of transformation and how ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But we fail to forget about the other three elemental energies, the air, which is the energy of bringing the new, bringing the energy to allow it to be lifted up and to clear away the old, right? We have the water that is here to nurture and bring life, and the earth to bring stability, to assist in the transformation of the new. And this is what the job of the fire. Each element is contained in the other. And in the vision that I had long ago, this was very beautiful to witness, is that each element has the element of air. And let me explain how this flows. Because air in itself is the first element. And
Exactly.
of course, when you have air, when it speeds up fast enough, air becomes fire.
Exactly. Blue fire. Yeah.
Exactly. And
I've been
then
talking about this for weeks. So I'm sorry I'm laughing, but go ahead. Go ahead and
no,
speak,
no, no,
Pamela.
but
Go
this
ahead and
is
speak.
confirmation. And so
Oh,
then
yes.
when
I
we
was just talking
allow
about this today. I'm not lying. I swear it was like that. They were like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Keep going. I'm
and then
enjoying
when
this.
we allow for the element of air to slow down just enough, it becomes more of a solid, and the solid becomes the liquid that nurtures all that is around us. And when it slows down even more and becomes stagnant, when it becomes still, it becomes the earth, it becomes the ground that we walk on. And so when we have all these elements, these energies, they work together in the space of primary forces. And in their true form, the elemental energies in their true form are primary forces that assist in bringing organization and order to the energy. And that's the true essence of the sacred fire, or the elemental energy that we call fire, to bring order and organization. We may see it as destruction, but it's transformation. And in this transformation, it brings sustainability. And in this transformation, like anything else, to put it bluntly, in the reptilian energy, there's always the shedding, it's always the letting go. And this is what the fire brings. And when the fire brings this energy, it brings up the from
Yes.
the earth, the
Right.
newness,
Okay.
that we are. And so it's just beautiful, because this is the energy that I've actually been working with a lot lately. Not just the sacred fire, but the spirit fire, also the
The Holy Spirit, as they would say it, or
yes,
yes, the
exactly.
Kundalini. Yeah, I mean, it's been all over me. Just like, I mean, I'm walking in white fire, half, just like, yeah, it's
And-
things are coming alive around me. They're, it, it's been like this for a long time, but I mean, it's to the point now where they just stop me and I have a long conversation with a tree or a rock
yeah,
or while I'm driving. I mean, I'm multitasking this. I mean, the downloads are coming so fast. I'm multitasking it now. You know,
yeah,
yeah, it's like,
exactly,
yeah, yeah, it's
exactly,
really deep. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is amazing stuff because, like, okay, you were talking about it's a particle, but then we have to understand that right now in this body of matter, we're in carbon body. We haven't gotten to our crystalline body all the way yet. So we still have a little bit of fog because we're like molecules just going around. It's just like dust
Yeah,
trying to find its way.
yeah,
And when dust stops being dust and starts thinking it's something else, that's when the confusion comes in. That's when you get hijacked. And so then when we get hijacked, we create all this other stuff, mostly from pessimism, that has nothing to do with the whole intel of that I'm loving myself in every segment. And at this time, the spirit does not uh, command me to be perfect in any way. I'm supposed to have fun with this canvas over here, So anybody
yeah,
that's messing with me painting this canvas, whatever way that I feel like I can breathe through all the things that I'm walking through this maze, and they take me to holy grounds. They don't. I don't. Everybody has their own grid work. Everybody has their own grid work. They take me to
yeah,
holy grounds like for a year, or I mean, Ofer will tell you.
yeah,
He
yeah. I
knows.
know.
He
I
knows
can feel it.
exactly. He knows. Wait till he open his mouth. I'm telling you, Ofer has walked. Me and him then got together and pulled stuff out of the middle of the floor and put a big giant piece of amethyst. And the next day I go to work, the whole plant is flooded. Just telling you that the work is real, bro. This is not a game, fellas. This is not a game. If you think this is a game, you need to sign off now. This is not where you come in and you try to control anything. Because as soon as you try to control, it's almost like you backfire on your own self. So you might as well just breathe through this ride and enjoy where the space trip tells you. And when you go there, you pull out all these little nuggets of yourself that you feel like you don't like. And you're like, well, why did you make this? If you start asking the right questions, because you got to get there first. That's a where in the journey where you start asking the right freaking questions, and you're not seeking answers outside yourself. That's what this is about. Us uplifting ourselves to the point where we can love ourselves so much that we're not that perfect image that we know we can be. But in the midst of it, we can hold that ground to that. But then I'm in this creative mode where, hey, let's go outside the box and create something new nobody's seen before, because that's where the fun comes in. That's where the brilliance comes in. That's where the energy comes in. When you just forget about everything else that's around that's not even important. Because if it was important, why isn't it just making you so happy? Oh, Pillow, I just love you so much. I've made 1,000 of you, but this one right here, oh my God, this pillow is just so fabulous. I mean, it's not that happy with the stuff. Yeah. I'm into the spirit. We're holding on to that Holy Spirit fire, and it's like woo, all around me like this, and some days I'm like, I was speaking in other languages in my sleep, and it's fun until I get hijacked. And now that I get hijacked, if I get hijacked, I say, what did that bring up? What was that about? Whose energy was that? Was that my energy? If it wasn't my energy, I send it back to the sender with love and appreciation. It was a lesson from an event. Then I need to dig in there and find out what that lesson from the event is, and so I can clear that and rewrite the story. Just rewrite the whole track. Pull that circuit out, and rewrite it, refigure it. It's pretty simple. At first I was like struggling real hard, paying everybody to try to teach me.
Yeah, it's hard because in the beginning, if you don't know what you're doing, the course is going to be a bit challenging because when you work with this energy at the soul level, it's the fire energy, it's the soul energy, it's supreme conscious energy, all coordinated together to assist in the reformation of this knowledge, the reformation of the truth that is in true existence. Because when we have these events or when we move through these spaces, it's really understanding what's there, what can I work with, how am I functioning with it, how am I in this space, how is this energy that is present, this omnipresent energy, how am I really stepping into that to utilize it? And I feel Ofer has something that's coming through, and I feel this energy.
I've been feeling it for a while because when he explodes, everybody got to be quiet. I'm even gonna put myself on mute because when he explodes, that's why I left him for last. Because when he explodes, he gonna change the whole atmosphere everywhere. The whole place gonna change. You just got to go with the flow. It's beautiful. It's like a roller coaster ride, and I need one right now. So I know I feel it already. So if everybody's ready for him to speak, then Ofer, you go ahead and speak. Would you like to start your rendition of "Don't Hurt Pamela"?
Okay, thanks for setting the low expectations, Pam. The Alchemical Flame, it's, for me, it all starts with this spark. I call it the divine spark in the center of each of us. And some of us can find it by looking at it as a flame, and some of us are having harder time to find it. But we all have it. Each one of us have it because this is our connection to the divine. This is what reminds us that we're divine. And I love to think of the alchemical flame. That's what I call it. This thing that is not burning, but is always here and is gold or red. You might see it in other colors, but it's like breathing. It's breathing with you. And when you need something, it'll bring it to you. When something needs to be purified, it'll purify. So it's a beautiful, I don't even like to call it a tool, but it's being used a lot for me with healing, because anything that it touches get alchemized, get transmuted into something that it wasn't before. So for example, I'll be working with some belief that doesn't work for me anymore. Like I'm not enough. And all you have to do is put that belief in the alchemical flame, or put the alchemical flame, just let it touch that belief. And then suddenly this belief is like, poof, it's gone. And something else replaces it. And so it's great to remember because it's all about remembering. It's not that we never had it or anything like that. It's simply there, and when you focus on it, it has the tendency to grow. And so it might start at a spark. You just internally you use your inner vision, you look at it, and then it suddenly grows. And then you continue to focus on it, and then it grows, and then eventually you're surrounded by that beautiful flame, and you just let it be there. You let it be there, and you remember suddenly, well, I'm not maybe the victim that I felt I was 2 minutes ago, because I have this flame. This is me. This is, what else do I need? And then, yeah, things happen. Things happen all the time, right? Somebody triggers us. Somebody told us something that we didn't like. So what really happened? What happened is, it's not what they said. It's not the truth of what they said. It's the vibration of what they said that vibrated something that was already in us, that has responded and had got triggered. So when that happens, and when you sit in your alchemical flame, you just know that anything that the alchemical flame will touch will change vibration to where it needs to be. And so belief that didn't work for you either leaves or transforms into something else. If you said, I feel disempowered, after playing with that vibration and with the alchemical flame, you might say, okay, that feels empowered now. I am empowered. I am empowered. And the alchemical flame is a beautiful thing to work with. And I take it to the, I'm not going to take the time to talk about it, but there are 5 realms that I work with. There is the heart realm, and the shadow realm, and the magical realm, and there is a tree of life, and there is the divine realm, and we solve different problems, and it's all can be done with the flame. And so if you have a shadow, an old trauma, something that you don't even know where it came from, but you know that it holds on to you, see what happens when you let the flame run around it or run through it, and how it suddenly changes, and how whatever was locking this traumatic power to your skin, to your body, and not letting it go, will suddenly be released. That's the beauty of the flame.
It's all about resonance. It's all about frequency. It's really about stepping into that space of allowing yourself to work with this energy, because this flame has no limit. It has no dimensional space time. It just exists. And in the space of existence, we have to reference the old teachers, such as Thoth and the 7 guardians. They used this energy way back in Egypt, in Atlantis, all the way back to the first civilization. This energy is much older. Actually, this energy is as old as the universe itself, as old as the creator.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What if you're older than what most people know as creation, and you know it, and you've seen it? So then how does that work with a person that knows they're ancient and have seen beyond that?
Well, when you have seen your origin, is what we call it, right? Because we have many incarnations, whether we have incarnations here on this planet.
I know almost all my incarnations, except for a few that probably aren't, showing up at this time, but they'll show up.
Yeah,
They always do.
Right. And so when we have the energy of our origin, when we access that divine blueprint, our origin always goes back to the creator itself. So when we know that we are creator, when we realize and understand that we are creator consciousness,
Exactly.
a fractal of this divine energy, a fractal now, not a fragment. Understand the difference. Not a fragment, but a fractal of this divine energy. We then tap into this energy that's already in existence, but our beliefs, our thoughts, our interactions has made it so that we are not in that space. And so now when we are coming to the space of remembrance, we now then can remember how to retrieve and connect and simply allow for the divinity to be expressed through us.
Yeah, that sounds right. We are in the action of remembering, because we're all ancient, right? I mean, our souls came from the oneness, and we've
Thank
been
you.
around, and we also agreed to forget every time we're
Every single
born.
time. Like a piece of
And
cheese.
yeah.
Cheese
And so
on
yeah, there is a lot
fire.
of ancient wisdom that
Yes.
is there to be remembered. We learn it, and then we realize, oh well, we also knew it all along. We just didn't
Yeah, isn't that?
remember.
Now that's the strange part. That's the strange part. So, like, okay, I know all of you guys pretty much know my story about me dying 7 legal times and all that, and the plates and all that, you know, and all that all over my body. Okay, so, but the thing here is when you've had that session with yourself that you haven't had with anybody else before, because you've been putting in the work. And all of a sudden, everything is responding around you to the point where you realize you are nature itself. You are the actual chromosome. You are the actual particle, the sand, the whatever, the molecule, the whatever. You're the actual it. And it's all around you, and it's showing you and showing you how you have these different things that are going on. And you've done that with me before, Ofer. You said, yes, you're a great healer, Pamela. Well, I'm a great a lot of things. So I'm a great comic. I know that one for sure.
Yeah, stand-up comedy suits you.
But so this happened to me within the last recent 4 months, where I saw my avatar as Tiamat. Tiamat was goddess, element, planet, multiverse, who pretty much created, you know, dragons, the elements, things, and had sisters and a whole family, and was pretty much destroyed. And I am the astral belt around Saturn. But in that feeling of being betrayed, that lowlessness, that first start of coming from the heavens and then to the lower rims, and you keep going to the lower rims and to the lower rims to the lower rims, and then I come back to the lowest rim. I guess this contract, oh, boy, I tell you. Anyway, I come back as a Libra, air sign. So they were already in placing it the 16th, the scales. You know, if you count up all the elements of the scales, 16. Okay, so 16. I come back the 10th month, the 16th day, in the 63rd year, which goes to 797, 979. So you go into the numerology of it all, and then you go into the blueprint of the seven deaths, the time I was born, everything in the astro, and you put it all together, and you see this old ancient mystical sage master who's created a whole bunch of stuff that they're trying to control to release so they'll be free. They won't be tied up into the madness that was created in those syndromes, in those time zones, whatever, in wars and all kinds of places and all kinds of places and all kinds of places. Now we're at this lower rim. We're at this lower rim where people are definitely so confused that the weather itself has white light. The white light is that right there is the Holy Spirit. The Kundalini is like all around you saying, okay, I got you. Don't worry about nothing. You on fifth dimension driving. Everybody else is going crazy around you, and you're just smoothly sailing all the way through like nothing is happening at all. And then the question comes. Here's the deepest question, Pamela. What if everything around you disappears and you're driving? What would you do? I said I would keep on going because obviously my journey or my way is already energetic and it'd be okay. You get to the point where and nothing around you means this materialistic stuff.
Well, we're
That
coming
make,
from the void, and
yeah,
we can get back to the void, but the void is the potentiality of everything. And so it's
yeah,
before anything receives form, and
right.
it's all available. It's right there.
It's right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's
and
right
this is
there.
one thing that we have to remember that a lot of people are not being able to grasp, especially at a collective level. That right now we are in fourth density, which is the way station to fifth density, which everyone wants to get to, the space of unconditional love, self-acceptance, kumbaya, all of this. But in this space of fourth density, this way station, we are being asked to let go of what no longer serves us. And part of that is the energy of the sacred fire to assist us at a collective level and as an individual to say, okay, well, how am I going to transform my life? How am I going to transmute this energy? How am I going to transmute this being into something more? And so most of us are still living in this space of uncertainty, which looks like fear, or us simply being afraid of what is to come next because we've gotten so complacent and comfortable where we are that the smallest amount of change, especially if there's a change that we are not overseeing or in control of, scares us. And so it brings the space of, well, what do I do now? The fact that I'm being asked to change something when I've gotten so comfortable with it. So now I ask everyone who's watching, what will you do to change your life knowing that something better is coming?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That was great. That was great. That was great. Oh, we're gonna give Terri some time to speak on this, but I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying what you guys got to say. Can either one of you first, both of you, I would like to tell people where they can find you, tell people your modalities, and let them know exactly where they can find you. We'll do our best to put all this stuff on the roster, Terri, that they can find them at their links. But tell people where they can find you at. Ofer, where can they find you?
My website is alchemicalflame.com. Alchemicalflame.com. That's the website, and there's all sorts of information, including a free ebook that you can download about the entire alchemical flame process. And Hillis, I loved how you're talking about the elements. I love working with the elements, and so I can already see that we are thinking alike in many ways.
See, all good brains
Yes.
think alike.
I love and I say this with all sincerity, Ofer. I've listened to many peers and they often speak and say the word awakening. And that is my pet peeve because we are not awakening, we are remembering. And I really appreciated the energy that you speak of when you spoke of remembering and remembrance, because this is what's truly happening. Because there's
Exactly.
nothing to awaken to.
Exactly. I
We are
mean, and
remembering everything.
it's crazy. She was just saying something a few seconds ago, and I instantly got a download, and I threw it back to her, and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, right. It's just happening that consistently now. You
Yeah.
know, there's. I mean,
The
I feel.
telepathic communication.
Yeah, this is my feeling about life.
Yeah.
We already know we're in a holographic image, and we have an avatar that we're controlling from the highest vibration of our soul. And we chose to come down here to Living Library to transform ourselves into the highest density we can that can be in oneness and not in combativeness with the things that have happened. So we're letting go. So we send our avatar down here at this time on the craziest time in the living library that all things are being exposed. And we already knew there was going to be exposed because we're the ones that need to be exposed, but we need exposed to ourselves. And we don't even realize that. We're looking all of this, oh, look at all these people exposed. We're supposed to be exposing ourselves. And what we're exposing ourselves about is that we are the we are the communication captain on for every part of our ship. We're the communication director for every part of our ship. That's what we are. As we're learning to understand that we're seeking ourselves, we're seeking to communicate with every part of our ship. So my stomach is bothering me, that's a part of my ship. My left knee's bothering me, that's a part of my ship. My toe is bothering me, that's a part of my ship. Or I'm receiving a download in my eye, that's a part of the ship. So whatever is happening, or you may be picking up somebody else's, because I'm empathic and I can, somebody's about to have a heart attack. Somebody got a headache, boom, boom. I got to send that back to them with love and appreciation. Boom, boom, going back to me. And then honing to me to the point where I'm connected to everything and I'm relaxed. So the game to me in my contract is I've got to make sure that while I'm connected to everything and everything is going every way but loose and some things aren't as pure as it should be, I got to stay calm.
And another
here's
way
a thought
to
for you. Here's a thought for you.
Okay.
You,
Because I'm
along
air.
with
Because I'm
everyone
air.
else,
No, because
would,
no, I didn't finish. I didn't finish.
okay,
Because
okay,
I'm air. Because
yeah,
I'm air. This is
yeah,
my last. This is my last. Look, all the way through all these avatars. This is my last test of myself. I'm testing myself that I can stay calm. Because air, it ignites. It can make a fire go crazy. It can make the water go whatever. The air is the controlling mechanism, and that is what they brought me back into in this, in all this, and all this, and the Buddhist, yeah, and all my arms and everything coming through my mouth, and and let me, it's a lot, but the capacity of the level is that I'm loving everybody that's just like me. Don't realize how much I honor them in the same capacity of my body is them and they are me, and I see that, so I'm doing this podcast, bringing on all the people that have inspired me and given me all this juice. It's like nobody wants me to be happy. I'm happy now. What's the problem?
And I'm very grateful that you brought me here. I love the concept of when you say I am the orchestrator or the communicator with every part of what's going on. I also see it as a balancing act, because
Yes.
being in balance doesn't mean that nothing is moving and all is still. It
Thank
means
you.
that there are all these forces, and you're the equilibrium keeper in the middle with all these movements around you, making it all balance in you. And that's only you can do.
That's right. That's right. And I can't listen to any outside communicators that are on channel 4 at all.
Right. No, but here's something to really assist in the thought process. So you talk about downloads, correct? And we always talk about receiving information. And this came to me a while back, and I understood it much better when I heard it this way. We, as vessels, as beings and bodies of light, we are not receiving downloads. We are shifting our frequencies.
Okay.
We are shifting our resonance. And when we shift that frequency, we fine tune it just enough to get that bit of information. Then we turn back to our normal station, our regular station. So think of it like your
That's good. Station. I like that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that for free.
Well, it's for everyone to
no, for free. I'm gonna put that in my arsenal because it makes so much sense. Because I said the same thing in a different way. I said that as the air, knowing that any kind of way that I move is going to affect so much. That's what I came back to do after all the the gifts I have as a healer. Okay, you can see it in
Right.
my hands. You can see it in my eyes. You can hear it in my voice. You know, and
Right, but the
it
thing
took
is,
me a
it's not
while
these.
to. It took me a while. You
But
know,
remember, these aren't gifts. These
they
are
are gifts
innate
because they're
abilities.
gifts. I say they're gifts. I
Hmm.
say they're gifts because in every avatar that you've lived, or whatever space and time that you lived in, whatever dimension you lived, you've you had the shadow, and then you had the light. In that,
Right.
in that, okay, there were sometimes that your darkness or your shadow was overpowering your light. And so
Right.
those hermetic situations coming down through the different avatars, some holy, pure holy, did not pick up any karma. Some
Right.
just elements, like the trees, the air, the water. Some of us have been a lot of things. So
Right.
we can't capacitate anybody else's magic that would be within their stream of grace. All we can do is feel our own stream of grace and bring that stream of grace to the point where wherever someone else's stream of grace come near my stream of grace, it won't affect me in a negative way. I won't feel any chaos towards that stream of grace because it's like harmonizing rhythms. It's like harmonizing notes together. Those notes would be
Right.
harmonized together because that's why we have pain in our body, is because our ancestors, our energy, our self, our higher self is trying to communicate with us and say, hey, look, I need you to fine tune this. And they'll give you stuff. It'll probably for you. Ooh, they telling me now some things that is, very difficult that I
Right.
need to do,
So,
but
right.
I got to get up and do it. And I got the space. So they didn't gave me all the rest. And then, no, you got to do this, Pamela. Okay, so I'm doing it.
Right. So
I've
it's
been
in the
sitting like
space.
that for 6 months and not doing it.
Right. But it's the space of you remembering to access these abilities from previous incarnations.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what's happening. We're all in the space of remembering, because when some people go through what is QHHT, when people go through past life regressions, they bring up the remembrance of these lives. They bring up the remembrance of this energy, and when we bring up
Mm-hmm.
this remembrance, we tap into the innate knowing that's in our DNA, that's in our cells, that's in our many energetic fields. And so
Mm-hmm. Many
then,
energetic fields. I like that. Now see what I'm saying? Yeah.
right, because we have 7 layers to our auric field. Then you expand
Got
out to your
12,
Merkaba
24.
field,
Yeah.
and then you just keep expanding out into
Yeah.
the many layers of who you are.
And if we're
Now,
still writing on 5 canvases, we can expand to how far ever we want to go.
exactly, and so it's
And
in that
that's
space
where I'm
of
that's where I'm at now, because that when you get to a point where you can go out and do something that creates something that you might not want to. You hung yourself in to be a recluse. You're not trying to be a recluse. You're not trying to be disasociable, but you're honing what is good for you. And when you come, it's time for you to step, whatever. Like they said, if I'm driving and the whole thing disappeared, well, I keep going, I will keep going. Period. That's it.
exactly,
Because I'm
exactly.
already knowing that where I'm going is the highest version of myself, and I'm not scared of it. So I'm happy to get there. Come on, let's learn. Yeah, let's learn. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah. What you think about that offer?
Beautiful. I'm getting charged up just by looking at you and listening to you, Pam.
Oh wow, thank
This is a gift.
you. You
This is so
understood what I was trying
beautiful.
to say in that. Because see, in my
Yeah.
Egyptian life, okay, I'm gonna say this real quick and I'm gonna let Terri speak. I was told this, and I think I told Offer before. Me dying these 7 legal times in this life, in this timeline, they were already prepared in other lifetimes to retrieve my life. I had already put in rituals or paid penance in other lives for these deaths, because the the, the multi-intelligence, what do you call it? You call the oneness, the intelligence, the supreme intelligence that you already know beforehand when you're remembering that you already knew this. You already seen this. You already been through this. This is a replay. This is not even in real time. So as you're still going through the little kinks and cats of you not being in real time, because we're already there. Trust me. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. We're already there. We're just going through the last metamorphosis of building our last couple of wings. You know, and when everything just disappears, we'll see, oh my God, we are walking, we are flying, we are able to do whatever we want. We're able to transcend to this planet, to that planet, to the other planet. Just the thought, it'll be like, it's the funnest thing ever. You just got to know how to do it. This is beautiful. So I'm just saying that you bring these people together. There's so many people that don't have people they can talk to about this. They experience this on a daily basis, but they don't have people that they can go to because everybody want to, you got to pay me, you got to pay me, you got to pay me. I'm not telling you anything, you know. But see, the freshness of my spirit is like, I'm air, so I can go wherever I want to go. And, you know, I just give what I need to give and walk on away.
And the truth is that we're all going in many different layers and planes at all times.
At all times.
Sometimes we pay attention to it and then I'm on the astral plane, and sometimes we just do our thing, but still we're not linear. We're not just one line. We're all over the place in different times and different spaces.
Exactly. And that's the multi-beautiful multiverse that is so multiversal. If I were to walk into a building and talk this way, I think they'd go get the police. But I'm just saying, though, I'm not saying that. Oh my God. If they can own this baby, they'd be over trillionaires. I don't even know what the word would be. Zillionaire? I don't know. Is there a zillionaire in the world?
I don't know.
Who cares? Give a damn. Oh my God. This has been so beautiful, so awesome. Just to know that there's something transpiring right now. So holy, so pure. It's already given us a free pass, and the passes will get to be our own unique self without having to apologize. That right there is worth it all, because apologizing for just being yourself is the worst. It's the worst, you know, and it can really dampen your strength if you're not doing the work, the meditations, the affirmations, recording prayers of yourself, sitting silently, dealing with the negativity and bringing it in and seeing why you're feeling that and going into that spot and saying, why is this trying to come near me? And please tell me how to deal with it, or what is it I need to learn from this that is continually coming to talk to me? And please tell me in the language I can understand. Thank you. You know, like I said, this is a ship we're in. You know, this was granted to us by the most brilliant scientist ever that hasn't even been shown. And they made these bodies so we could think they're real. See, that's what don't make no sense to me. And it shouldn't make any sense to you guys. If we're to this scientific level, why are we still watching flat screen TVs and cell phones? It's not bothering nobody else. It wasn't going to work. It's not bothering anybody else. I mean, this is a scientific.
I don't think that's gonna be there for long, to be honest.
No, it's not. But at the level that it is, at the level that it is, this what the Conversations from God book said. I didn't make bodies that would deteriorate. What kind of God would I be to make a body that would deteriorate? It is you who is not taking stock in what I've given you as a gift. And then you tell me that you want me to show myself. I'm everywhere. And even if I show myself in a permanent image, you guys would mark me and want to kill me.
Yeah,
But it's
well, when it all
everywhere. We were
started,
right here.
there was just light and nothing else.
That's it.
And but for creation to work, there for any movement to happen, there has to be polarity. Otherwise, nothing
Exactly.
moves.
That's right. I like when you talk about that. Tell us a little bit about that because you told me that about that before, Ofer.
So everything, everything in the beginning there was the word. Everything starts as air. Everything starts through the word, and and then the word is triggering something. You can call it it's like it's moving between two magnets. And these magnets is what's allowing a cell to divide into two and create a person. It's what allowing the one to become, the
Multiverse.
expressions
Yes.
of
All right.
life.
Yes.
And all this differentiation can happen only because we live in a polarized world. And so my point is, like you said, we don't realize, but we can be thankful for the fact that we not only live forever, we also die, because that's the cycles of creation and
Exactly.
destruction, which is
Mhm.
like saying creation and composting to create something new.
Even
And
better.
it's there for a reason. Otherwise, we just move back to where it all started, and there is nothing else. There is the one, but God
Right.
wanted something else, wanted
Right.
to learn what it feels like to
To
be
be
in
a
a human
human
body.
being. Human, you
Exactly.
are on. Yes. It's
Exactly.
crazy. It's crazy, but it's beautiful though, you guys. I mean, I think when I was working with either one of you, I wasn't as far as I am, but I've been working with Arthur for a long time from the beginning almost. So he's seen transformation after transformation after transformation. Terri, she hasn't known me as long as Arthur, but she's seen transformation after transformation. And now you get to see this new transformation that when I met you and the time that I met you. And so this has been a
Yes.
really beautiful time. Terri, we are going to let you speak. I know you have some beautiful things to say. So go for it, girl.
Ah, yeah, I love what the two of you said about you, Hillis and Ofer, about the flame. I have my fireplace burning right here. I'm looking at flames dancing around right now. The alchemical flame with the ability to transmute and transform anything that is not serving. Once we recognize it coming to the surface, to be seen, felt, and heard. For
Yes.
me, I tend to be,
Ah.
I'm a Taurus, I'm Earth with a
Me
Leo
too.
rising, fire. I tend to be in every group, every crowd, every family, whatever. I tend to be the grounding factor in everything. The go between, the mediator, always been me my whole life.
I
Because I
love it.
could bring everybody into a grounded state and say, okay, you, and you, this is what we're doing, and transform everything. Um, I roar as well. So I've had the same experiences that Pamela's had where people like, oh, what is that you saying? Oh, you too loud. Oh, that's I can't, can't handle that. I speak with a tongue of fire as well, but I have over the years learned to observe, as you see me saw me doing. I observe, I take in information into the computer, then I spit out what needs to be spit out. As Pamela was talking about the writing the story, that is one of my most powerful tools. Um, Using it along with the alchemical flames. Oh gosh, fabulous. At rewriting that story the way you would like for it to be. I studied the work of Neville Goddard and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and where nothing out there needs to change, only moi.
And then everything out there follows suit as the reflection of the mirror. I have mirror phenomenon. There's a book called The Secret Language of Birthdays. And I'm in there. It's the April 29th, 1966. I got 11s all over the place, 29, 2, and 9, 11, all over the place in my charts, 33s, 22s, and 44s everywhere. And one day, my family was reading that book. And I'm in the house doing whatever. And I'm in the mirror. They said, and they got to the part that said, and wherever there is a mirror, she will find it. And they start laughing. I'm like, what y'all laughing about in there? They said, oh, yeah, we talking about you. Aren't you in the mirror? Well, yeah, what's that got to do with anything? You know, mirror reflection. I have, it's called the day of the heavy image. I'm able to craft whatever image that is required for any given situation, just like that. What do you call it? Shape shifting. You know, but yeah, that's been my basic thing. And my biggest thing now is rewriting the script. I took relationships between my mother and father, rewrote that with a baby picture sitting right in front of me. The picture where I'm in my mother's belly and my mother and father cutting the cake at their wedding. So I was there. And a lot of the stuff, the emotional stuff that I inherited from them, the programs, I was able to go in and rewrite it to where my father, we have a great relationship now. All that, you know, and I can talk to him about anything because I rewrote it. So his whole response or towards me is very different. Actually, it's wonderful now. Wonderful. Not that it was bad before, but there's more of a connection that was never there before. I retold a story about my grandmother and my grandfather that used to argue back in the day. You know, they kind of a little bit violent. That was when my mother and her siblings were little. But when I got to my grandparents and they were raising me, it was like their chance to do it over again and do it right. You know, so I would watch them in their interactions that were kind of like, ooh, kind of a little off key. What, you know, I watched one of them say, oh yeah, let me give me something to hit you with. Wait a minute. And they're old and they're doing this. And I decided within the last maybe 2-3 months ago, I thought I'm going to try something here. I rewrote a kitchen scene where they were acting a little off. I rewrote the whole scene where they're sitting at the table together, eating from each other's plates and feeding one another with their hands, holding hands and caressing each other. You know, I love you. I love you. Oh, and I'm watching this. I'm like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. And I got so engrossed in this story as if it were me. Something was transforming in me to where the next day I get in the car in the parking lot here and to go out and there's this white car in front of the gate. And my human self, that's impatient. That's the part of the Taurus, the opposite side. The impatient side that's like, what is this? What's going on in here? What are people doing? Get out the way. And I saw 777 on the back of the white car. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because it's just a black couple. We're smooching and, you know, necking and stuff against the car. I'm like, oh, they got to get out the way. And then I saw the 777 on the back of the white car. I'm like, oh my God, this is angels. They're angels here. They're talking to me. This is something. And I watched them. I said, oh my God, that's the story I told last night about my grandparents. And so when they realize that they're in the way, I'm like, oh, they said, oh, we're so sorry. Oh, I saw. Take your time. I can wait. You know, and after that, one of them, the woman, she went to her car that was parked next to the fire hydrant. And the guy was the one that owned the white car and he, you know, drove off. I'm like, wow. Oh my God. So it showed up right away because I became one with that story I was telling about my own flesh and blood, you know, and that's the way I use it. That's alchemy as well. But I'm gonna do some more with that flame thing you're talking about and put that in there. That's magic right there. That's pure magic right there. I love that. I love that what you shared.
I don't know why when I'm driving, that's when most of my alchemical flame comes out, or if I'm at the beach. Those two places, they really send me. I know me and Ofer, he had that's the first time I met Ofer. We went to the beach and John Ingvick had brought me out there to meet Ofer. We came and it was fun. I wanted to stay, but they had to go somewhere. And I was like, oh man, I should have stayed and left, but it was fun. And the beaches, I grew up.
It was just the connecting point. It's how it was supposed to be.
Yeah. And after that,
But you know what, Terri, I just want to share with you because you reminded me of old technique that I used to share with clients, and actually it's brought to mind. Maybe I should start sharing this again. Is a meditation that I created long ago called changing your story or creating a new story. And it was like a 10-minute journey that I will walk people through to find
Didn't we do that one? Didn't you do that one for me? You did do that one for me.
We're now doing an expanded version of that. So yeah.
You did that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
It is a beautiful technique. I love the concept.
He has a rendition too. Ofer has a different rendition. But both of you, so I'm trying to tell you, I brought you guys together because you guys have that same flame going on. And I hope something really wonderful comes out of this where we can all come back on and just, talk about the different things that have transpired within the next 2 or 3 months, So that way that people are uplifted. Because there are shows out here, podcasts, and I don't judge nobody, but people don't feel like they're enjoying themselves. It's just like, okay, these people are talking. All right, let me flick this off. Because there's so much like, I don't know what it is. I think it's self-importance. That's what Daniel says to me. Daniel Patrick is going, he's going to get me and say, yeah, bam, self-importance. There's so much self-importance. We're working on this.
People have to find my interviews. I remember back when I started doing interviews and I was like, oh yeah, I'm so happy to be on the show. But now it's in the space to where you have to allow yourself to be comfortable. And that's part of the space of transformation. When you,
yes, sir.
What you talked about earlier, when you sit in yourself in stillness.
Yes, sir.
And you allow yourself to simply be, then your light just shines. When you just allow yourself to be, people say, well, who am I supposed to be? Or what am I supposed to be? Or what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to act? I mean, just be. And that's all that there is. Because creator consciousness, this divine energy, isn't asking of anything else.
Yeah.
It's asking for you to, how do you show up every day? How do you be yourself? How can you be, more than that? How can you evolve into the true essence of self through the space of remembrance, through the space of, well, I chose to forget everything to have this experience, and now I gotta remember everything all over again. Well, damn, when can I just come back and remember everything so I don't have to go through this all over again? Can I just remember?
No, I know. I ask the question every so often, but they're like, if you don't take your time and just slow down.
Yeah, and
they'll put Mother Mary in front of me, or they'll put Merlin. Merlin didn't got in front of me.
There are rules. There are universal rules about it. If you're not going to slow down, they'll slow you down for your own good.
I have a team that follows me, and either the birds are talking, the trees are talking, or they'll get in a car and drive in front of me. I don't have a problem driving anymore because I already know the rules of the game are already set. Just drive. You're going to get there. You don't have to speed. That's it.
Yeah.
You can jump time too.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
So now I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
But I did get hijacked the other day. You guys want to hear about this hijack? This is super funny. I just want to confess my sins to the Lord and be blessed. Hallelujah! But so the other day, this lady was driving behind me, and I have a little sports car. And she was driving behind me on her phone, just like this. And she was coming really close, and she was coming in between the cars, and I can't go any faster. I was trying to go over to the side, but the lights weren't changing, and she was just coming closer and closer and closer. I don't know if this had to be a test. This is a test of American broadcasting system, because I got out of my car, and I'm like, well, the angels must have put the stop signs. I'm like, I didn't know if she was going to stop or not, but I was so glad she stopped. I got out of the car and I said, are you kidding me? I usually don't do. I mustn't clean myself well from leaving work. I usually clean myself really good after I leave work or before. But woo, boy, and I was in my uniform too. I was not thinking. That was a way, 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 way crazy lady right there. That lady right there. I don't want to be here. Oh, so scary. Oh, so scary. Right off.
I can
I
only
just ride
imagine.
my elephant. Forget that. Yeah, I just ride my elephant. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna ride my little diamond elephant. We're gonna be all right. I already projected myself with my big old afro and my gold jewelry. I'm on my elephant and we just riding through the kingdom, just having a good time. Yeah, it's gonna be wonderful. It's coming, y'all. You'll see.
Oh, I already know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
have
it's
to be
gonna be
Already
awesome,
patient.
man.
happening.
It's happening.
It's already
It's like,
happening.
man, I'm just, the
So,
Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. I say, I opened my book. It was talking about the Holy Spirit today, like my prayer book, and it's a metaphysical book, and it was talking about the Holy Spirit and how it works with you, and it was like, oh, this is the because you get really, really cold, you'll be in a whole different dimension, and the heater be on. You don't feel no heater. What do I got to put on? And so me and Terri was there the other night, and I was like, I was on the other podcast, and I finally came down, and I was warm. I took a deep breath. I think I went
oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
something like that. Almost broke the barrier in sound. I do that every so often. I break the barrier in sound. So you got to release the air, man. And you do. Period.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So we are so glad that you both came on this beautiful podcast called The Harmonic Crowns of the Multiverse with me and Terri Page, Queen Tierra. I would love for one of you to pray us out or give us a affirmation or something strong. Boom. Make the power go out. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, I don't know about making the
I
power.
don't want to make
We
my
want
power go
people to
out.
watch.
No.
I don't mean power go out. Like I'm
Yeah, I
saying,
know. I'm teasing.
oh, forget you. I hijack with that.
No,
I would never hurt either one of you, never, ever. But you guys already know that. I'm just a little piece of honey hanging in a tree. Can't even
indeed.
see me. I'm just so golden pure. Just look at that honey. Would you like to take us out, Ofer?
I could.
Okay, thank you.
Just remember, let's all remember that we have this beautiful flame that goes through our center, fills us up, connecting us to the divine and connecting and linking us to each other. And let's remember, we're never truly separate. We're never truly alone because we are always linked through the divine light, through this beautiful alchemical flame that is in us. We are whole. We're not broken. There is nothing to fix. There is simply remembering who and what we are already. And so it is.
So
And so it is.
Awesome.
yeah. It's beautiful.
Well, we're going to go out with our beautiful song. I hope you guys like my little song. It's called I Choose to Have More.
Have more
than enough,
more than I once imagined.
more than I dared to dream.
And as I choose more,
Pouring blessings into my hands, filling me with all that is good, all that is possible.
all that is mine by right of being alone.
Choose to have more, more is here, and more keeps coming.
More is always waiting for me.
1, 2, 5. Got it? Terri?